Welcome to your weekly look inside Hilltopper Athletics. I'm your host, Jack Connolly, and today we have a stacked show. We'll be hearing from head men's basketball coach Andre Cook, head women's basketball coach JJ Riehl, and your head coach, your national championship winning esports team, Sterling Henderson. First, Coach, we welcome a familiar face after a month-long hiatus. It's good to see you, Coach.
Jack, it's good to see you. Happy holidays, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, it's in the middle of the season, so it's, as any basketball coach is, or any coach right now is fatigued, but it's ramping up for the strong finish.
It's a different time from last time we spoke. A month ago, you were getting ready to take your team to Hawaii for the Hoops in Hawaii Classic.
Yeah.
You were getting ready to play teams all across the country, not only the United States, but a Canadian team, and then the Pacific. What did you learn about your team in that tournament?
In Hawaii, I felt, and the guys knew this, I felt we were on vacation mode as soon as we landed. You know, we were 9-1, we had a great wins at Midwestern, at Cameron. Then I think we got to Hawaii and we were a little bit on vacation mode and not understanding the how difficult the games were. You know, we played the home team, Chaminade, who's really good and plays 4 guards. We played Simon Fraser out of Canada, who's really well coached. And then Emmanuel has one of the leading scorers in the country. Tough games. To go 1-2, I wasn't thrilled with that. But, you know, we had a rebound because you get back and then 3 days later you're starting the league. So there's no rest for the weary.
You talked about a very brief break for the holiday break. Then you guys really hit the ground running, and we've talked about it. This conference is a gauntlet from top to bottom. And you faced a little bit of adversity for the first time, your first losing streak of the year. How did you guys get back into the winning ways against Dallas Baptist?
Well, we had a lot going on, you know, as everybody did. When you get back from Christmas on the 27th, and then you're immediately got to get ready for a tough weekend with International and Kingsville. Tough physical opponents. And we got back, we had multiple guys were ill, we've been dealing with some internal things that we had going on with our basketball team. So right after Christmas, we're coming back and kind of dealing with a lot. And guys out, you know, we had our leading scorer, Jeff Gary, didn't play the opening weekend. So just a lot of stuff. And then we lost a tough game here to Kingsville, very emotional game, and they outplayed us in the stretch. And then we went to Tyler and didn't get off out of the gate very well and cut it to 1 late, but didn't finish. And then at Dallas Baptist, another close game, and I thought we executed were us the last 4 minutes. So no easy games, and every game seems like it's coming down to the last medium.
You know, you talked about it. Let's look ahead on this road trip. We spoke about it before. You're going to see what you're made of after this road trip. What did you mean by that?
Well, I just think, like, you know, these are tough, these road games, back-to-back road weekends, right? It's the first week of class. So our guys are like a lot of college basketball players are right now. We just got back from the road. Tough games, Tyler, DBU. Tough games against International and Kingsville. We're going right back on the road 3 days later to, you know, Oklahoma Christian, who's playing their best basketball the last few weeks, and Fort Smith, that you have to be very locked in and concentrated because they are very specific with what they do. So we can go get these games on this road weekend. You're starting to see teams separate now at this time of the year, and I think that's why it's really important for us.
You know, that last game didn't start the way you wanted, but you finished it. You got into a win that you guys needed and ended the streak. If you look at it, it goes back to your all-conference player, Uche Dibiamaka. You know, 9 of 12, very efficient. What makes him so potent, even though coaches they've seen a full year against him? How does he continue to do it when you need it night in and night out? I think, you know, to me, and he right before the show, he was just in my office, you know, and we're talking. It's all about mindset with Uche. You know, it's just about what is his mental approach to the game, and each game is different. We ask him to guard point guards to 5 men, right? His approach to each game is he guarding the guy that's got the ball? Is he guarding guys that are posting up? Is he guarding wings? That's how much we think of him to be able to guard all those guys. So his approach has to start with the defensive end, being our defensive stalwart. Now he does that, then that will translate to him being into the game on the offensive end. So he was terrific against Dallas Baptist. It was 69-68. They stepped behind the 3 right in front of our bench right there in Dallas, and he popped back and made a huge 3 for us to get it to 72-68. That's what we expect from him. First team all-league,
first team all defense. He needs to know that his teammates are relying on him.
Speaking of all conference players, your point guard last year signed a pro deal in Poland.
Yeah.
As a coach, what does it mean to watch players of yours continue to play and chase their professional dreams?
Great question, Jack. I appreciate that. That's one of the things I love about my job here at St. Edward's, is that we can have both ends of the spectrum, right? When we recruit guys, I have, Ryan Garza is in medical school, right? One of my former players, and then we have pros, guys that have played all over the world, from Brazil and Australia and Denmark, and BJ Maxwell signed a contract, and Daniel Van Zandt, and there's others I'm missing. I just saw Dorian Lopez trying to go back to Mexico. So I love the fact that we have both ends of the spectrum. You want to come here and pursue your dreams, which we'll have guys that want to play a pro basketball player. We have shown a history of being able to do that. You want to get your MBA, your master's, go into the workforce, go get your PhD, MD. We have all of those covered, and I think that's what makes my job, why I appreciate, one of the many reasons why here at St. Edward's is so special, and I love our alums, and Daniel is a sweet, good-hearted young man, and that was always been his dream, and good for him.
Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck on this next road trip. Don't miss the Hilltoppers in action Thursday against Oklahoma Christian. Tip-off will be at 7:30 on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. You can find the link on gohilltoppers.com.
DB Amaka gets inside, has to go back out. UT Tyler just collapses their defense on him. Lays it off to Elkington, though. Attacked and
Welcome back to your weekly look inside Hilltopper Athletics. After a month-long break, it's good to be back. The head women's basketball coach, JJ Riehl. Good to see you.
Yeah, awesome. Did you have a good break?
I did. I went home. It was good. Got to see the fam. Got a little wind down.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back to it, though.
Yeah, we're back in the swing of things.
How was your break?
It was short. It's like we never left.
No, right back at it. No, but we're going to jump right into it. It's been a season full of ups and downs for you guys.
Yep.
Last time we spoke, we were riding on 4 or 5, and we've dropped 3 or 4 since.
Yep.
What's been going on in this streak?
I think that's a great question. I think it's just the quality of the league, how difficult road games are. Coming back after Christmas, you're off for 7 days. You get 3 days, and you immediately go back out to play another game. And I thought that first game back from Christmas, we were just kind of lethargic and flat. I thought we responded very well against Kingsville. Lots of adversity, ups and downs, and we were able to, really stay resilient and get a big win in overtime against a really good team. And then I think you go on the road, and that road trip for us particularly, against 2 undefeated teams in the league. Tyler's 2 losses on the year, Texas Women's 1, Texas Women's ranked 18th. Tyler could be a ranked team very soon. It probably will be a regionally ranked team when that stuff starts coming out. So 2 really high quality opponents. Thursday, the same thing that happened against International, just didn't feel like emotionally and mentally we were really engaged in the game. My verbiage is, and we didn't get off the bus. It's like we just didn't show up emotionally. Sloppy, not great offensively, defensively did enough to stay in the game, just didn't have it. Saturday, play a really good opponent. Texas Women's can score from the inside, outside, changes their defenses, put full court pressure on us. And I thought, we had a really good game plan going in and got off to a great start and battled down at 1-2 possessions at halftime. Third quarter, we're right there. We get in foul trouble, have 3 starters sitting on the bench with 4 fouls, and just didn't have enough when those guys went back in the fourth quarter to get it down to a manageable 1-2 possession game. So I think it's the story of our year. You said ups and downs. I think that was the verbiage you used. I talk about the roller coaster. We're the highs of highs, and we've got momentum and playing really well, and then we just go really low, and it's just that inconsistency that's plagued us all year.
Being in these games, you played some of the top teams in the region. How do you get through to the girls that you guys can play with them?
I think they know they can play with them. I think the issue for us is everyone wants to beat ranked opponents, right? Like everybody, any D2, D1, you turn on College Game Day, football, basketball. We'll transition to game day for basketball here soon, right? Probably this weekend. And those Saturday games are always great because it's a ranked opponent, and a lot of times it's an unranked opponent. Somebody wants to beat a ranked opponent, right? Everybody gets jacked up to play those games. I think the bigger issue for us is figuring out how to win the winnable games, the 500 games, the teams that are 500 or just above or just below, because those are the games that if we do what we're supposed to do, we come into the game mentally and emotionally engaged and prepared, and we execute the way we're capable of executing, those are the games that you win that then get you a chance to go to postseason play. It's not the 18th ranked team, the 13th ranked team, the 6th ranked team, those games, like it's every other game. And so I think our girls know that they can play with anyone, but it's we can't pick and choose, and we pick and choose. It's showing up every day, and that's what makes ranked teams great, is they show up every day. And we've got to figure out how to be more consistent showing up every day.
Speaking of great, let's take a look at the SEU's Chinese delivery of the game.
Let her go to work. Morgan Gary spinning, held up, over to Sammy Dufik, and it's in!
On this streak, you look for any moments or specks of bright spots. You don't need to look any further than Jada Rufus-Milner.
Yep.
She's really totally amped up her game on the offensive end of the floor during this streak, scoring in double digits in 3 of the past 4 games, averaging 13.5 per game. I'm speaking for everybody. Where has this been all year?
I think, I mean, I feel that same way. I probably have said that to her before, right? But I think, it's hard when you transfer in, and maybe you didn't play a lot the year before. And I think everybody has these expectations of what it's supposed to look like. And, for Jada, it's just taken her time. It's taken her time to get comfortable. It's taken her time to trust her body again. It's taken her time to get familiar with me as a coach and the St. Edward system and what we want and how we want things to look. She's been fantastic since Christmas break. And I think the biggest things about her is she's done a really good job with her mentality. And we talk a lot about mentality and the 6 inches of space between your ears. And, when we talk about mentality, we talk about staying where your feet are. And she's done a really good job. I think early in the year, mistakes and missed shots and turnovers and breakdowns, they really affected her next play. And for me, she wasn't staying where her feet were. And I think since Christmas, she's done a great job of staying where her feet are. And that's allowed her to move on to the next play and to not go on to the next play with baggage or frustration or anxiety because of what had happened in the past, or maybe what she worried about in the future. So really been pleased and happy for her the last couple of weeks.
Last but not least, you guys take the journey up 35. You head north to the Sooner State and head to OKC to play an Oklahoma Christian team.
Yep.
What do you expect to see out of the Lady Eagles?
To me, OC is really trending up. I think people probably, you might look at their record or their win-loss percentage, and you might not really see the true value in where they are right now. It's a new coaching staff trying to get things their way. They had Texas Women's and Tyler at home 2 weeks ago, right after Christmas, played them both very tough, won 2 possession games late in the game. Then they took the long road trip for them down to International in Kingsville, lost by 3 at International, and then upset Kingsville at Kingsville. So, they're playing really well. They play incredibly hard. There'll be tough matchups inside and outside. They're scrappy. They'll change defenses. They'll press us. And OC is always a tough place to play. I feel like we're going to be a broken record because we're going to say that all year about everywhere. But so I really think it'll be a battle. Obviously, as I say all the time, if we get off the bus mentally and emotionally, I like our chances against anyone that we play. And if we repeat the last 2 Thursdays, it'll be a very tough opponent for us. So, you know, we've had a great week of practice so far, and it's just locking in and you know, having confidence in our preparation and being ready to go when the ball goes up.
Make sure to catch the Hilltoppers in action this Thursday. Tip is at 5:30 on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. You could find the game on GoHilltoppers.com. Coach, good luck this week. Hope to bring home a W.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Coach. Welcome to your weekly look inside Hilltopper Athletics. We're welcoming a new face to the show, the head coach of your national championship winning esports team, Sterling Henderson. Man, appreciate you joining me.
No, thanks for having me.
First, I'm gonna get right to it. What's it like winning that national championship, being the first team to bring it home to the Hilltop?
Yeah, I mean, it's special in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously being the first team to bring one home to the Hilltop is, you know, for me, a really big deal. I'm only going into year 3 here, so to be able to do something like that already for St. Edward's University and SEU athletics is for me really a big deal. And then for the team, for the guys specifically, it was huge. You know, they had a lot of adversity last year. They thought they were going to get to play in one division and were told they can't when that was the plan the whole time, and were told they had to play in another, and they made it their mission from the start. Like, okay, if that's what you're going to make us do this, then we're going to win it, and you're going to wish you hadn't made us do this, and that's exactly what they did.
You know, esports it's kind of new, uncharted territory. It's kind of a new phenomenon. It's kind of blowing up as of late. What's something that you think the most important thing that a non-esports fan should know about it?
A non-esports fan, I'd say the most important thing a non-esports fan could know about it is it's just as competitive and taken just as seriously as any of the other sports you watch. I think a lot of the times people who aren't esports fans assume that our idea of practice or improving is that we're just mindlessly playing the game for 8 hours a day and we don't move from our computers, and that's not the case. There's everything you would expect in a normal traditional sport happens in esports as well. There's film review to go over where we messed up and what we can do better and how we can play the situation better. There's film review of our opponents, see what they like to do and what maps they like to do it on. And there's a lot of strategy that goes into understanding who we're playing, what the best strategies to beat those people are, and making sure that we're improving every day.
How'd you jump into coaching?
Esports has been a really interesting ride for me. I started as a player in 2007. I had a few professional contracts myself and had some success there. Coaching just kind of happened. I knew I wanted to work in the esports industry as I stopped competing, and at the same time, collegiate esports kind of started to make this boom. And me and everybody else that was paying attention really just wanted to make sure that the people that got in to help build this thing were people who've been in esports since the beginning and understand what the students are like and what the competitors are like and what it really takes to build a successful program. So I think my interest in it, and I ended up in it just because I saw it taking off, and I was really invested in making sure that collegiate esports as a whole got started the right way.
You talk about getting it started the right way. What's been the most rewarding part of coaching for you?
Developing the students. It's, you know, the opportunities they have at their age are things that I only dreamed of when I was their age, things that I never thought would be a thing for esports. So getting to step in and play a role model figure in a sense to these students as they kind of navigate the industry and growing up and getting their education and prioritizing things correctly has definitely been the most rewarding part of it for me.
Looking forward to this next season, what's your outlook coming off of a national championship?
Yeah, in the national championship team, we expect to repeat. You know, we're the defending champs coming in. The roster is the same. We're coming in motivated. We're coming in hungry. You know, a lot of the rosters in the space in that division specifically got better, and I think there are still some people out there who think we got lucky last year, and we know that's not the case. So we're looking to repeat and prove that what we did wasn't a joke.
Who should the fans look to see as the leader this year?
On that, we have 2 leaders. On our first roster, I'd say our leader is definitely Johnny Albano. He is extremely tenacious. He wants it. He has a lot to prove coming into this year. He didn't perform how he wanted to last year, I think. And I think he's going to be the guy that really keeps everybody on track this year and makes sure the work is getting done. On the other side of that, Andrew Garza. He is, since day one at SEU, has been all about the program, all about the hilltop, all about doing what he can to make a name for the school in esports in the college space. So I think those two students specifically are going to be who lead us this year in attitude and perseverance.
Coach, we appreciate it. We can't wait to watch you guys compete this season. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.